there. The plastic is split. If I can move it, yeah, so you can see it opening up. What up, YouTube? I'm coming at y'all from the crib. We got a house call today on my boys Porche Macan. If you got a turbo Macan, you got a coolant leak, your car's overheating, and it's under the intake, this video's for you. Stay tuned. So I already have most of the car apart down to taking off the broken Y. But if you got a leak somewhere under the intake and you're overheating, you're losing coolant there, more than likely your issue is one of these sides. It could be the driver's side, or it could be the passenger side, or it could be under the intake next to the starter. It actually tees off here, goes back behind, runs all the way back behind and up there. So there is a company that sells a revision that bolts up to both cylinder heads, and it's like a silicone style hose, so less prone to break with heat. It attaches to both sides and runs back this way and attaches straight to that T. This case, the customer just ran to Porche, picked up the part number, picked up a set of intake gaskets because the intake does have to be removed. So you can see I got some paper towels in there just to keep any debris or anything. So we'll go ahead and get this plastic pipe installed, or plastic Y. We got a set of intake gaskets. I'll show you guys the reassembly process. You can see, you know, I left some things connected. Certain things can still stay. Just be very careful because a lot of these smaller lines and stuff are plastic, so you don't want to break anything. See the hose right there, and right where that line is where the clamp attaches to this hose here. So you can see me moving it. I barely touched the line there and it broke. So I went ahead and removed the clip with just a little flathead right there. Slowly worked it out side to side, so I didn't break it, so it could be reused. And then I just pulled the soft line out the back here, and then I started pulling the clamp off. So now I'm going to separate the hose from the piece of pipe there, and then we'll go ahead and pull the pipe off of this cylinder head. I already got the bolt out of that one, and then we'll put the new piece in, run it forward, and then I'll show you guys how we get the clamp on the new one, because I know we can't pull it back, you know, to get it on, but sometimes these hoses are pretty tough to get off. Just like that, we got the two pieces separated. So we'll go ahead, get this clip off of here, and then we'll put it back in place. We know it's sat in there like this, blue line on the right side of it, just like that. So we'll go ahead and get the clip put back into place, and then we'll start installing the line. Clip locked into place, just like that. Go ahead and pop one and number two out. I'm sure it's gonna make a mess, so make sure you put something under the car. Should just, oh, as soon as I touch that thing, it broke right off. Oh damn, they both broke. It was ready to split for sure. This is the side that split right here in the middle. You can see trying to get it out of the cylinder head. That thing is just deteriorating, but just got a little pick tool. We're just gonna go ahead and pop it out slowly. That way we can recover it, and then we'll clean all the little debris out before we. Same thing on this side. I wiggled it back and forth, but as soon as I popped it out, the old piece stayed in there. So we'll move that thing around a little bit and we'll get that popped out. Got both holes cleaned out. Let's go ahead and get the new line installed. Straight from Porche. All right, we got the line in place. Got that line in the cylinder head. I just slowly worked it in so you don't pitch the O-rings. And then we'll get it 100% lined up and get the bolt down in there, torque them down to spec, and then we'll get the hose on the back and start reassembling everything back together. One in, got the other one in. Let's get them torqued down. All right, we got the clamp all the way on, in between the white lines, locked all the way down. You can see the line is in the clip, bolted to one cylinder head, to the other. So let's go ahead, we're gonna start getting the center section put back in here. Got a few electrical connectors, gotta work a couple of things around, and then there's one little itty bitty tiny vacuum line that goes to it. So let's go ahead and start getting that together. All right, this is the next piece to our puzzle here. Let's get this put on. Just like that. Got it all bolted back on. There's 1, 2, 3 back down there. And then you got one electrical connector that actually clips up on here. We got that back in place, got the clip in, got the tube here. Now our next step is gonna be the fuel lines. So we'll get some thread locker put on the fuel lines. I got one of the fuel line bolts here, and then we got another one over here by the valve cover, but we'll go ahead, get the fuel lines back attached, and then we'll start connecting the rest of these wires and stuff. Got one line on, locked down. We got all the electronics and everything locked into place. We got this line locked down. Got the bolt back in the valve cover over here. We still have this loose because this fuel line bolts to the top of the intake, so we want to crimp that pretty much last. But all of our connectors, everything is tight. So we're gonna get all this stuff cleaned up and get this stuff blowed out the cylinder before we pull the paper towel out. We'll blow all that out. As you can see, got everything bolted down and together. All the connectors are in. See how flat the intake gaskets are. So we'll get the new ones put in, get the intake cleaned out around the areas, get these ones in. Got all the intake flange areas cleaned up. So we'll swap these gaskets over and get the intake thrown on. Got the new gaskets in, got the intake flanges cleaned up. Let's throw the intake on. All right, we got all the fuel lines, all the electrical connectors, vacuum lines. We got fuel pressure sensor connected, the other high pressure fuel pump on the other side. Got the line back in the clip back here. We got these tight, both of the fuel soft lines tied to the intake. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead, get the crankcase ventilation attached back to each side, get that bolted in place. We'll get the throttle body on, get the coupler on, get this thing fired up with some coolant in it. We got the cover back on, got the intake back on. Gonna go ahead, we started putting some coolant in. I'm gonna go get the other jug, start filling it up, and then we'll get it fired up. All right, we're taking the Porche on a test drive. The brake lights and all that were already on prior, so just keep an eye on the coolant temp. It's right about 200. I bled the system all the way, so we'll take it on a test drive for a few miles. We'll check for leaks under the hood. Car will go back to the customer. We got the cover back on, all the bolts back in. It is pouring rain. I'm letting it cool down. I need to add a little more coolant. I wish I could vacuum bleed the system, but I don't have an air compressor here to do so. So we just got to do it the old way. Make sure we get all the air bubbles out, and then car will be ready to pick up. I checked for leaks under the intake. Everything looks good. No drips or nothing underneath the car. Whew. Damn, it's raining. But we'll go ahead and get our tools put up. Let this thing cool down a bit. Top off the coolant. Ready to go. Appreciate y'all watching, man. Like, comment, subscribe for more content to come. We get all the random vehicles all the time. We topped the coolant off, got the cover back on and locked down in place. Another one done. Just like that.